President Biden signing an executive order aimed at strengthening U.S. cyber defenses. The move comes as the hacked and shut down Colonial Pipeline comes back online. The president is expected to speak this morning about the nearly week-long cybersecurity incident. Joining us now, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. Mr. Secretary, I looked at some of the states and the number of gas stations out of gas. I think if I were Transportation Secretary, I think I might have just left this week and just said, we got hacked by some Russian dark side, and you didn't tell me this could be part of the job. You going to hang in there?
Some days you know exactly what to expect at work, and then a lot of days something happens that makes you realize you're really going to be earning your paycheck that day. And I'll tell you, the whole of government approach from the beginning, when the president directed every department, including mine, to do everything we could to respond to this incident has really paid off. But obviously, we still have a lot of issues persisting during that interim period while we get the pipeline back up and running. And so our effort has been to look at every mode of transportation, see what we can do on the surface side, see what we can do on the maritime side, take every mode that we can and make it part of the solution.
And it's not even a supply issue, really, is it? It's the SPR type stuff. I mean, it's distribution. Can you mobilize some trucks? I mean, what is going on behind the scenes just to try to alleviate the near-term issues down in some of the states where, seriously, there are some bad lines and some bad things going on?
Yeah, to some extent you can. So part of what we've been doing is creating the flexibility and supporting states in creating the flexibility to allow more to happen with trucks. So I'll give you an example. It turns out the physical capacity of a tank truck, if you fill it up all the way, actually puts it over the weight limits that you would ordinarily have, for good reason, on federal highways and on our roads. So temporary waivers of those weight limits are allowing more volume to be carried in tank trucks. And a lot of states have availed themselves of that flexibility ever since we were able to make a determination that that was legal because of some existing disaster declarations. You can do things with hours of service regulations that can be waived for similar reasons, just to get more of that product moving. Meanwhile, with our Pipeline and Hazardous Material Safety Administration, we were able to provide some flexibility in terms of the qualification of the inspectors and people who could be workers who could be out making sure that the manual restarts are happening, getting the pipeline going. There are a lot of things that you can do, a lot of tools in the toolkit. But of course, the bottom line is we need this pipeline back up and running, and really welcomed the announcement and the news that was happening beginning early evening yesterday.
I don't expect you to solve all of our cyber crime vulnerabilities as Transportation Secretary, but that is an issue here. It's not just it's not just pipelines, it's everything. And I'm sure you could have some input, but have we not been vigilant enough overall with the possibility of ransomware and cyber attacks across the board to our economy? And what do we need to do?
I think for many Americans, this has been a wake-up call on how actors anywhere in the world could impact us right here at home. And when you look at our policy framework, our laws, a lot of them were not written for the cyber era. It's one of the reasons the president's executive order is coming at a very important time and part of a bigger picture where we really need to make sure that we are harder targets for these kinds of cyber actions. The other thing I think it's reminding us of is the fact that in the United States, a lot of our critical infrastructure is operated either by private actors, right? This is a good example. This was a cyber attack on a private company operating and owning this pipeline, or it's municipal or other local government units, right? The federal government does not actually own and operate all or even most of our critical infrastructure in this country. And what that means is we're only as strong as our weakest link. So we've got to make sure every private sector player, every city or town that's running a water utility, certainly anybody who's involved in anything from the national airspace to ports when it comes to the transportation piece that I work with, everybody has to be as strong as possible and a step ahead rather than playing catch up.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.